Welcome to NEWS.am. My guest is Iranian expert on international relations, Mr. Movahedian. Mr. Movahedian, thank you very much for joining us and for your time.
Thank you, and it's a pleasure for me to talk to your audiences, to your media, and I hope we have a constructive conversation.
Thank you very much. The Secretary of Supreme National Security Council of Iran, Mr. Ali Shamkhani, paid a visit to Armenia these days, had discussions with Armenian high-level governmental officials on the regional developments. And what do you think? What was the main aim of the visit by such kind of high-level diplomat from Iran to Yerevan? What messages did he bring from Tehran to Yerevan? And what do you think? What is the reason of such kind of activeness by the Iranian side towards the Armenian and the South Caucasus at all?
I think the visit of a high-ranking Iranian security official to Armenia is a clear and direct message to countries like Israel, Turkey, and Baku. In this way, Iran warns and recommends these countries that it will not allow any change in the borders with Armenia that threaten the territorial integrity of this country. And there will not be any corridor that will cause the loss of border between Iran and Armenia in Sionic province. As you know, Shamkhani's trip to Armenia and some other Iranian officials' trip to countries like Turkey and to Baku shows Iran's commitment, collective cooperation between countries to maintain regional security peacefully and without interference from third countries, as well as Iran's important role to reduce tension and maintain regional security. The trip also showed that Iran is determined to expand cooperation in important infrastructure areas, including energy, transit, and transportation. Iran wants to remove obstacles to the development of economic relations between the two countries, and Iran definitely supports the completion of North-South route project in Armenia.
Mr. Shamkhani, in Yerevan during his meetings, emphasized that Iran considers any attempt to change the geopolitical situation in the region unacceptable and noted that Tehran also supports the process of unblocking regional infrastructure within the framework of preserving the territorial integrity and sovereignty of states. So what is Iran concerned though with regards to the Armenian-Azerbaijani ongoing negotiations? Are there concerns that interstate border between Armenia and Iran can be endangered in the aftermath of, for example, the demarcation negotiations? Or there are concerns about the opening some kind of corridor which claim Azerbaijan and Turkey? What do you think?
These are concerns that Iran really matter. With the support of Turkey and Israel, Baku is trying to put pressure on Armenia to impose its views on demarcation. On the other hand, Iran is trying to prevent the alliance of Turkey and Baku with Israel and the foundation and formation of an axis of evil in the region through diplomatic negotiation and peaceful truth. As far as I am concerned, and as far as I have analyzed the situation, Iranian official thinks that Baku should stop this unproductive approach because all the neighbors of Baku are against this kind of approach. Iran's new military maneuvers in the northwest of the country show that Iran will not allow the establishment of any kind of foreign military tools and any other third intervention in the region. And if other countries want to disturb the peaceful situation in the region, Iran and Russia will definitely intervene, and they definitely try to maintain the current borders of Armenia with its neighbors.
Mr. Movahedian, if Iran has serious concerns related to the Azerbaijani-Turkish claims of creating some kind of corridor through the Sunni region of Armenia, what do you think? What are Iran's messages addressed to Yerevan regarding this issue? What kind of steps or behavior does Iran expect from Armenia regarding these issues? And what kind of support can Iran suggest to Armenia for countering these risks coming from Baku and Ankara?
The current policy of Iran is to participation in diplomatic dialogue, in diplomatic negotiations with Armenia, with Baku, with Turkey, to maintain the current situation. And Iran also tried to expand its economic cooperation, cultural cooperation, political cooperation, security cooperation with Armenia, with Baku, with Turkey, to convince them to change their behavior. Iran can help Armenia in different ways, through military cooperation, through joint military maneuvers, through economic motives to expand the economic relations between the countries. But I think the main point is that we can't see the real motives, we don't see that the current government of Armenia wants real help from Iran. Iran repeatedly asked Armenia to complete the North-South road. That it's a very critical road that helped Iran and Armenia to expand and verify the roads and to get rid of the Baku corridors. But I can't understand why the government in Armenia is not going to complete a simple road. Many Iranian drivers, truck drivers, complain that this road is not okay for our containers. First of all, we have to ask our friends in Armenia why you are not determined to do this. This is the question that, first of all, you have to answer, not we. I hope that our friend in Armenia be eager and try more to complete the economic projects. You can have a look what the government of Baku is doing in Shushi. How fastly they are making airports, they are making roads, they are doing different economic projects, but they are so fast and they are so slow. And I am afraid that in near future, this will lead to bad consequences.
The foreign minister of Azerbaijan paid an official visit to Tehran a few days ago, and during the joint press conference with his Azerbaijani counterpart, Iranian Foreign Minister Mr. Hossein Amir Abdullahian stressed that they had discussed also the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, stressed that the remaining issues related to the conflict should be resolved in a peaceful manner based on the territorial integrity and the sovereignty of the site. So what do you think? What is Iran's position on the resolution of the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict currently? What is Tehran's position and perception of the conflict in this period of time?
Iran always supports the ongoing negotiations between Baku and Armenia to maintain the peace and stability in the region, reopen communication routes, while maintaining the national sovereignty and territorial integrity of the two countries, and emphasize on maintaining stability and security in the region. Iran is trying to prevent the resumption of war in Karabakh region through participation and through dialogue with all involved parties. The policy of Iran is the policy of participation and engagement with all parties, including Baku, including Armenia, including Turkey, including Russia. Because when you start a war, you don't know what is going to happen. And our region is not in the situation that you are going to start a new war. We know the situation in the Ukraine, we know the situation in the other part of the world. Right now, we have food insecurity problems, the bigger tensions between the United States and Russia. Maybe some parties think this is the right time to trigger another war. But if you trigger a war, you cannot control it, you cannot manage it. Iran tries to make some other countries in the region to understand. I hope we can do it. But if we can't do it, we have our tools to try to gain our national interests.
Several months after the crisis in bilateral relations between Tehran and Baku, when Iranian truck drivers were arrested by the Azerbaijani side for traveling to Artsakh, and by the sides the occupation of the Goris-Kapan road by the Azerbaijani side, there was a crisis in Iranian-Azerbaijani relations. But now the high-level officials, also the foreign ministers of both of Iran and Azerbaijan, announced that they're trying to develop the relations and expand the cooperation, also not only in political but also in the economic sphere. What do you think? What is going on in the Iran-Azerbaijani relations in this period of time?
There are 2 points I think I have to mention. First of all is that Iran trying to diversify its transit roads, its corridor roads. We are going to use Caspian Sea more than ever for transit. And Azerbaijan knows that. When you have different corridors, when you have different roads, when you can use the Caspian Sea instead of Baku roads, they can't force you to do what they want. This is the first. The second point that Iran is trying to participate in Baku, trying to convince them that their policy toward Armenia, toward the region, is the wrong one. As I told you, Iran trying to not allow Israel to influence Turkey and Baku, and to, as I told you, to form an axis of evil in the region. I hope Iran will win. But I think the diplomatic atmosphere in Armenia is not okay for that, and Armenia must increase its diplomatic maneuvers, its interaction with other countries, its interaction with Iran, with Russia. As far as I am concerned, these interactions is not in a high level. And as the other point, as there are some domestic political problems in the Armenia. When you have domestic political problems, it decreases your power to influence other countries. First of all, different parties in Armenia. I'm not an expert of the domestic Armenian politics. I'm not in a position to talk about that. But I think you have to solve your problems first of all. Okay, you say we have a dictator in Baku. I understand. You have a democracy in Armenia. I really admire you, honestly. But right now, the ongoing tension in the country, the ongoing demonstration in the country, the tensions, the fights, it decreased the power of Armenia to gain its national interests, to influence other countries, to talk to other countries. I think you can find a solution for it.
What kind of results of cooperation does Iran expect from the regional platform 3+3, the second session of which is planned to be held in Iran?
I think there are two main points. The first main point is economic benefits, the other is security benefits. Iran wants to be part of the important corridors of the region. Some countries trying to remove Iran from the corridors, from the energy corridors, from the transit corridors. Iran wants to be part of the important corridors of this part of the region. The other point is that security. Iran and the other countries in the region, except of Baku, want to stop countries like Israel, like Turkey, to be part of the regional arrangement of the region. I think through these arrangements, Iran wants to convince other countries of this formation that the security of the region is achievable just through the cooperation of the countries of this region, not with the involvement of countries from other parts of the world, like England, like Israel, like United States, and so on.
Iranian Foreign Minister Mr. Abdullahian, during his joint conference with Azerbaijan Minister, also stressed that regional issues should be resolved by the countries of the region themselves and without the interference of outsiders. This is the principal position of Iran regarding the regional developments. So Iran supports the 3+3 format, which is very clear in this manner. But there is another factor. In case of OSCE Minsk groups, in fact, disability and the collapse, and besides the Russian mediation, the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict and the Armenian-Azerbaijani talks, there is a new official mediator between Armenia and Azerbaijan. It is the European Union. What is Iran's position on the European mediation in the South Caucasus?
I'm not sure that they can be helpful on this matter, because during the summer we were watching what's going on, what's happened in Brussels. Nothing really happened. Nothing constructive happened. I think if the European Union want to meddle in the arrangement of the security and peace in the region, it must work through and with the help of the neighbors of Armenia and Baku, like Russia, like Iran, and like Turkey. Without their help, European Union solely cannot solve the problem.
And Mr. Movahedian, the last question. What do you think? What is Iran's position on the normalization process between Armenia and Turkey? What does Tehran expect from this process?
Of course, Iran welcomes the normalization of relations between countries in the region, especially the Armenia and Turkey, that they have many harsh and deep problems and differences. But the point is that when I review the news, I see that Armenia just want to normalize the relation. There are many unsolved problems. There are many unsolved documents. So, do you have agreements on your problems, on your differences, or not? As far as I am concerned, and as far as we review the news, we see that there is not agreements on main points about border difficulties, about the massacre of Armenians, about the Turkey stance against Armenia and in favor of Baku. First of all, you need a framework. You need a framework to talk about it and to pointing out the main issues. And you have to find a solution about your differences, about these main problems. Without any agreements about these problems, the normalization of relations between the countries is meaningless.
Mr. Movahedian, thank you very much for your opinion.
This is a pleasure for me to talk to you and to your audiences, and I hope that we can meet again in this program with you and with your audience.
Thank you very much. My guest was Iranian expert on international relations, Movahedian.